Hey guys, Marz with the Gravity Project, and this video is actually titled "What's Wrong with DCUO at the Moment." So, DCUO is an ever-changing game. It has updates and DLCs, and so there's never anything that's wrong with the game indefinitely, but there's definitely things that are wrong at the moment all the time. So, this is kind of just a little bit of stuff that I think is wrong with the game at this very moment, and that I would hope change eventually. But here it goes. So first on my list is advanced mechanics. Advanced mechanics, I mean they're fun, but I kind of wish that you had the option to go with a weapon mastery loadout as well, and maybe you got some type of buff from that. Because as far as advanced mechanics goes, they really take away from the game in the manner that you're not using your weapon anymore, which goes literally the whole other half of DPSing. Like part of DPSing initially in the old game back in the day was hitting a weapon and then hitting a power and hitting powers until your power was depleted, and then you use your weapon attacks until your power would come back due to your troll or whatever, just time passing by. So I miss using my weapon, and Weapon Mastery actually added to using a weapon a lot more, and then it also added to your using your power because you were getting a might buff from it. So it was nice to or no, not really might buff. What was it? A crit, right? You're getting the 100% crit chance, and so it was nice to be able to use your weapon and your power and get that full feel from DPSing. So I kind of hope they're able to bring that back in some way. Next off is a big problem that actually I feel the game has been having for a long time now, is the economy. The economy is terrible. One of the things that was really fun about DC initially was like, farming collections and exo bits and bytes and getting money, like, millions of dollars. And as far as I can tell, like my friends and I, a lot of people I know are so broke right now, like really broke. And I think that's it has a lot to do with there not being any super interesting styles at the moment. There's not any super rare anything right now, collections or any of that. Due to synthetic mods and now mods having nothing to do with your CR, prefabs and synthetics are a great way to go. So people don't even really need bits and bytes anymore. And then colas aren't even a thing. Colas are a thing of the past. They have extremes now, or there were always extremes, but now extremes do what a different craftable cola would have done in the past. So the economy is just it's down the drain right now, and I mean I miss being able to have money. Like they need to have some type of way to help players gain money because it's just a nice thing to have. It helps people get through collections and styles and little things that they want, little nuances that we can't currently achieve with the low amount of money we have at this moment. Third on my list is luck-based feats. There's a few luck-based feats. Like actually, I think a lot of feats are kind of luck-based, and the actual skill-based feats to get your skill points are sometimes few and far between. Like a lot of these new feats come with collecting a certain amount of base items, which is not really a luck thing because it's just a certain amount of any. But it's like when you have to get certain base items, it's like yeah, it's a drop. And then when you have to get certain styles, but not all the styles always drop. It's like the luck is it's kinda hard. And then there's a couple others I had in mind, can't think of them at this very second, but it's just luck-based feats are my favorite. So hopefully they start making feats more skill-based. A good example is getting exactly 9 of those ads down in this new raid, Bombshell Paradox. That's a skill-based feat. It depends on how well your tank can tank, and just little stuff, your DPS burn and all that. So skill-based feats are always nice to see. Also, along with feats, this is fourth on my list, is the difficulty of old feats. Now, this is not to say that old feats are actually hard, but it is hard to go and achieve those feats because it's hard to get a group for them. Generally, people don't want to go and do old content, and let's say the feat that you need is a raid. It might even be a style feat or something from Unpaid or Seeds, but it is exceedingly difficult to get a group for an old raid or an alert, something of a previous tier. And so it would be nice if maybe they implemented some type of teleporter system where you could go back into the raids, walk in just as you could do with Gates Prime, any of the fortresses or bat caves. And, that way if you did need something out of Unpaid or Prime or, whatever other raid, Love and War, or Operation, then you could just, walk in. Same thing with some of the alerts. A lot of these things can be soloed or two-manned at this point, and it'd be cool if you could just go into these alerts or operations by yourself and get some of these feats out of the way. Fifth on my list is the uneven DPS power damage. So at this point in the game, you figure with all the updates they've been doing, right, with all the power buffs and everything, all the DPS powers should be relatively equal, but Ice and Gadgets are definitely the best powers right now. Quantum was definitely the best power a few months ago, and Mental after that, and it's like it just keeps going through this weird cycle of there is always a power that's better than others, and it kind of makes DPSing a little bit less fun because you don't see that same diversity. Like I guess Origin Crisis was really probably around when the game was at its best. Quantum had just come out, but it wasn't so much more OP than the other powers. You'd still see a good amount of electric DPS, and Earth was still probably weaker than most, but there was a little bit more diversity. I think it's just nice to see all of the powers interacting in one raid. And that was also something that came with the weapon, because previously you would use your pad AoE move, and then you would use your weapon buff, so you'd see Electrocute and Gravity Well, and then Galling Eruption or Wintry Tempest or what's it called, Debris Field, all going at one time, and it was just nice to see that. So yeah, definitely that's a big problem if you ask me. Next, sixth on my list, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this would be 6. Is the scarce events. I like that they've brought in survival mode and Legends PvE. I'm actually starting to enjoy Legends PvE more, and it's really just for the feat aspect. I don't actually necessarily like going through the old content as a Legends character, but getting the feats and grinding through it is something else to do. So that's nice. If you ask me, survival mode is definitely this game's best event to ever surface. It's just all around fun, and I really appreciate the gameplay and what that game mode is like. And so I think rather than bringing Legends PvE back so much, which is also nice, and in case you missed those feats, they can definitely keep cycling those. I'm not saying stop cycling Legends PvE, but I'd like survival mode to be on a cycle too. Bring back on science cells and increase the CR, or increase the CR of the previous survival modes, and that way it's just the people of the highest tier always have something to do and mess around with. So last but not least, 7th on the list is raid setups. As far as raid setups go right now, it's generally 5 DPS, 1 tank, 1 troll, 1 heal. And a long time ago, when this game first came out, initially it was supposed to be that you would run a raid with 2 of everything. 2 tanks, 2 trolls, 2 DPS, and 2 healers. And I feel as if I'd like to kind of see that come back. Maybe bring down the health that some of these ads and bosses have, or bring up the damage that healers, trolls, and tanks can do, and then make it so that we can beat all the instances with 2 of everything. I think it's a little bit more fun that way. Not everything fell in the DPSs, but then it wasn't as difficult for heals and trolls. Everybody had a nice balance. Everybody had a little bit of help. It's kind of stressful to tank by yourself, sometimes heal by yourself, troll by yourself. So that's pretty much it, guys. Tell me if you agree with the list. Like, comment, rate, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.